Hello again, 7th graders. Welcome back. I hope you had a great long weekend and had a great Thanksgiving. So over the weekend, I was looking at the SpongeBob assignment that we did about finding controls and variables in experiments. And there was, well, a lot of you that just flat out didn't do it. But those of you that did do it, there's a little bit of confusion still. So I'm going to go over the second half of it and see if that helps with understanding and helping you to pick out those variables a little bit easier. So I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. We're going to try this and explain everything. So the first situation on the second page has to do with Squidward's symphony. It says Squidward loves playing his clarinet and believes that it attracts more jellyfish than any other instrument he has played. In order to test his hypothesis, he played a song on his clarinet for a total of 5 minutes and counted the number of jellyfish he saw in his front yard. He played the song a total of 3 times on his clarinet and repeated the experiment using a flute and a guitar. He also recorded the number of jellyfish he observed when not playing an instrument. The results are shown in his chart. So we're going to start off with question 10. What is the independent variable? Thinking back to your definitions on the front page of this assignment, the independent variable, that is the thing that is changed by the person doing the experiment. So what is Squidward changing in this experiment to test? Or what is he testing in his experiment? Our next question, question 11, asks, what is the dependent variable? The dependent variable is what they are measuring or observing in the experiment. So if we look back at this experiment, we've got a big hint in our data table on the right-hand side here. Our dependent variable. We've got the number of jellyfish by instrument, and we've got 3 trials. So, question 11, what are they measuring or observing in this experiment? Or what are they counting in this experiment? Question 12 asks you, what should Squidward's conclusion be? So looking at his results, which are in the chart, was the clarinet the instrument that attracted the most jellyfish? So to answer this question, let's take a look at our data. So our number of jellyfish. If we look here, our number of jellyfish, when we had no music playing, Squidward saw a total of 10 jellyfish. When the clarinet was playing, he saw a total of 15, 25, 37 jellyfish. When we had the flute playing, he saw a total of 22 jellyfish. And if we add up the guitar, we get a total of 37 jellyfish. So we take a look at that data and we can ask ourselves, what should Squidward's conclusion be in this experiment? Was the clarinet the one that attracted the most jellyfish? So you take a look and you can get that answer from these numbers. Question 13 asks you, are these results reliable? Why or why not? So do our results actually prove which instrument would be the most effective at attracting jellyfish? Yes or no? Some things to think about were the number of trials. Yes, he did 3 trials, so that is a positive. Did he play the same song each time? Well, we don't really know that. If he had played the same songs every time, then we would have more accurate information. If he's playing a different song every time, then it may be the song that actually determined whether the jellyfish came and not the instrument. So there are some things on both sides of this, yes and no. The next question has to do with super bubbles. And so Patrick and SpongeBob love to blow bubbles. Patrick found some super bubble soap at SaleMart. The ad claims that super bubble soap will produce bubbles that are twice as big as the bubbles made with the regular bubble soap. Patrick and SpongeBob made up 2 samples of the bubble solution. One sample was made with 5 ounces of super bubble soap and 5 ounces water, while the other was made with the same amount of water and 5 ounces of regular bubble soap. Patrick and SpongeBob used their favorite bubble wands to blow up 10 different bubbles, and they did their best to measure the diameter of each one. The results are shown in the chart. So if we take a look at this chart, it's going to help us to answer these questions. So the first one actually is not in the chart. What did the super bubble ads claim? So if you look back up here, they talk about what the ads claimed, and so you're going to write that down in your worksheet for number 12, number 14, what it claimed. Number 15, what is the independent variable? Independent variable, remember, that is the thing that is being changed or tested in the experiment. So what is the new thing that they are trying out in this experiment? Was it the shape of their bubble wands? Was it the regular bubble soap? Was it the super bubble soap? Was it the person blowing the bubbles? What was the thing that they were testing in this experiment to see if it was better? What were they testing? Number 16, what is the dependent variable? The dependent variable, that is the thing that is measured in your experiment. So what are they looking at? What are they observing to find out if super bubble soap made bubbles that were twice as big as regular bubble soap? How are they going to know if it worked? That is your dependent variable. Number 17 says look at the results in the chart. Calculate the average diameter for each bubble solution. So to do that, you need to calculate the average for the bubbles. And the average, remember, that is the same thing as the mean. So you will need to add up these numbers and divide that by 10 because you've got 10 total numbers. And then you'll have to add up also the regular soap to get your average of the regular bubble soap. So you'll need to have done a little bit of math now. Pause the video, take out the calculator, add up those numbers, calculate the average, also known as mean, and fill those in on your chart here, okay, on your worksheet. Super bubble and regular soap, you're going to compare those numbers. What should your conclusion be? Was the super bubble soap twice as big a bubbles as the regular soap? Yes or no? Did it work? Number 18, are the results reliable? Why or why not? So we are missing some information here that's going to tell us if this is reliable data. First of all, it doesn't say who blew the bubbles. It didn't say if their wands were the same. There's a lot of different factors that could go into this one and make our results reliable or not reliable. So please try and consider those as you are finishing up this worksheet. Now, if you took the time to watch this whole video, I'll go back and go through the answers for you. So the first one, number 10, what is the independent variable, the thing that's being tested? That is going to be the musical instruments because that is what Squidward is changing in these experiments, okay? What is the dependent variable? What is he measuring or observing? He's counting the number of jellyfish, so our dependent variable is going to be the number of jellyfish. What should his conclusion be? Well, he had stated earlier in his hypothesis that the clarinet will attract more jellyfish than any other instrument he has played. Well, we can see from our data here that the clarinet did tie with the guitar for the most jellyfish attracted. However, it was not the clear winner. And so you need to state that. His conclusion should be that the clarinet was more effective than no music and the flute, but it was equally effective as the guitar. Are his results reliable? Why or why not? Well, it depends on if he waited in between his trials. We don't know that. Did he wait a set amount of time? Was it just random? So there is information there that's missing that would help us to know one way or the other if this was accurate. Okay, next at the super bubble soap. What did the bubble soap ads claim? Well, they claimed that it would produce bubbles that are twice as big as bubbles made with regular soap. So that's what you need to write down for the claim. What's the independent variable? What is the thing that they are testing? They are testing super bubble soap. What is the dependent variable? What are they observing or measuring to find out if it works. They are measuring the diameter in centimeters of our bubbles. And they tell you that also over here. They're going to measure the diameter of each bubble. Looking at our chart, your average diameters, the Super Bubble soap, I believe, had an average of 15.1, and the regular bubble soap, I believe, had an average of 10.5, or maybe it was 11.5. I don't remember. I added them up really quickly earlier. So what should their conclusion be? Was it twice as effective? Did it produce bubbles that were twice as large? Well, doesn't look like it to me. They would be twice as big. So yes, what should their conclusion be? Yes, Super Bubble Soap did create larger bubbles, but they were not twice as big. Number 18, are these results reliable? Why or why not? I would say no, because we don't know who blew the bubbles and what wands they were using, and that could affect the size of the bubbles being blown in this experiment. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. If you have other questions, make sure you send me a message or attend those Google Meets for your class connection time. Thank you. Have a great Monday.